But I hear that people who deliberately choose to be single in Toronto, a place that is so rich with almost everything, including people to date. I don't usually understand. I think maybe everyone has like a very high standards of what they expect of each other. Let me leave that for now. You and I are gonna watch this video and react to it and see why people are choosing to be single. Before we do that, remember, always subscribe, like, and throw in a comment there. Let me hear from you.
Across the world, the number of single people is growing, and more people are talking about the benefits of single life. Chloe Bow is one of them.
4 years ago, when I ended my long-term relationship, I had no idea how different my life would look today.
I love my own company.
Bow is a full-time content creator and works mostly out of her condo in Toronto.
Yes, I enjoy being alone, but not all the time, and it's not something I would ever brag about or say that confidently that, oh, I love my own company. And again, I'm not taking away her shine. Just for the record, I'm not shitting on her. We are different for a reason, and she enjoys her company, her own company. I think that's great for her.
A lot of her work is focused on why she's choosing to stay out of a relationship.
When I decided to give dating a break and just focus on myself and realize like the peace and calm that I feel when I'm single, I felt the need to share this experience with other women because it really felt like I found the key to happiness.
There's a host of reasons why anyone chooses to be single. I choose to be single because I guess I haven't found someone that is very compatible with me, like share my interests, like see. Doesn't have to see life the way I do, but I think we should at least share the same values or we'll be fighting all the time. Yeah. And this place is so rich with I think there is someone out there that is exactly that, and I can't find them. Where are they?
At The Economist, we calculated that over the past decade, the number of single people around the world has risen by at least 100 million, which is just huge.
The Economist says the rise of singlehood is reshaping the world, and the Financial Times has called this moment a relationship recession.
Okay. I think there could be other reasons why. One, being single now is no longer frowned upon. Yeah, oh shit, if you are a single woman and you are at a certain age in an African setting, you're automatically seen as a loser or like a low quality person, like, or some sort of like let's say you're a woman and you're 34, 35 and you're still single, you're not married. And it also happens that you at some point had a child out of wedlock. Oh, you're kind of just like some sort of reject, to be honest. People see you as a reject.
Plus, as singlehood increases, the interest behind why it's happening is also on the rise.
We've looked at who are the different types of single people. There is a certain percentage of people who they don't really want a relationship that much. You know, they get their social connection from their friends and their family, you know, they're invested in their work, that kind of thing.
I want a relationship. I'm scared of one because every time I get into a relationship, the fear of how is it going to end is always dogging me that, oh shit, now I am here. How long before that chemistry, like there, you see, the pyros die down, the fireworks die down, and they start seeing me as just any other normal guy, and all of a sudden the interest like sort of dissipates and just disappears, and then I am back to square one.
Looking at the factors, being single is not a perfect science. There's a lot of reasons to explain what's going on here.
I think there's kind of a lot of freedom on what kind of path you take as you like grow up, and people are taking less traditional kind of paths.
That's what I thought. Being single is no longer frowned upon. You don't have to start a family by a certain age. It's funny. By African standards by now, I should be married. My parents don't ever talk to me about marriage. They have talked to me about other things, but they never mention marriage.
I'm neutral, I guess. I would like to be in one.
So while there are many factors
Someone help that bro. Someone help that bro. Uh, Someone come to his rescue. He would like to be in one. To be honest, I would like to be in one too. So yeah, we are kind of the same there. Yeah, I would love a relationship.
The data suggests that people still want to find partners, but it's the goals in dating and the purpose of getting into a relationship that might be changing. And caveat, that's data based on heterosexual relationships. One factor both experts agreed on is the changing lives of women.
Started doing singlehood research, it was a really tough sell to get graduate students who were interested in it. Now I have graduate students spontaneously emailing me who want to crack the code on whether it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend or not, right?
And that comment there, is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend, is a nod to this Vogue article from last fall. It went viral. There was a lot of response.
Is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend? What kind of question is that? But to be honest, is it? Have we reached a level where a woman saying they have a boyfriend is embarrassing? What? What? I think anyone who is actively pushing the idea that it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend, I can say, not objectively in a biased way, but I think they're miserable. I just think they're miserable to an extent that they want to influence other people to be miserable like them. I don't think it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend. That should not be a debate. That's a wake-up call to men. You better wake up. The women are sleeping away. The women are sleeping away.
Similar dynamics in terms of women being more financially independent and perhaps wanting to focus on their careers rather than settle for a man that they're perhaps not that into. But broadly speaking, we still see a very, very strong cultural norm of women not wanting to marry down.
To be honest, that is the thing. There's a time I think women would be forced to settle for men they were not into and sacrifice some ambitions that they had because that was the norm. That was what the society had set. That was the set standard at that time, that at some point you have to get married, even to a pig, someone you clearly detest, as long as you get married.
The data suggests to us is that, women understand that they're in a position where they can afford to wait and they can afford to choose. And so, the kinds of goals that they talk about are things like, I don't want to lose my independence when I get in a relationship.
No wonder men are complaining. The privilege that they had where they set the rules when it came to dating, they've lost it. And as always, anywhere, if you're in a position of privilege, any idea of equality always feels like oppression to you.
With men, they kind of seem to fall into two different categories, and we sort of interpret the data as suggesting that men who are interested in dating women get that the bar is higher. And so some of the men seem to be responding to that with goals that suggest that they're trying to up their game. But then there's another group of men in that
I think that's a good thing. The bar is higher. The standards have been raised. Instead of complaining, what do? You raise your game. You dress better. You look for most of to be stable to attract. You are out there to attract rather than chase. I think that's usually much better.
So we suspect that this might also be a response to this sense of the bar is higher, that some men are just feeling like, yeah, with the bar that high, it's kind of not even worth my time.
Justin Frost is single and says dating has become more complicated. I guess, do you feel that the bar is higher now?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot more expectations. They put like a dark cloud over the dating scene. It makes it almost, for me at least, almost not worth it in a sense sometimes. You have this hesitation. It's like, okay, well, why put myself out there if all people are going to expect from you is being a multimillionaire with a Bentley, right? When for my goals was to find that person who has those common interests and
I'm starting to get scared. Oh man, I'm starting to get scared. Shit, I thought the bar was raised. I didn't know it was just on their $1 million level. What the fuck?
So if more people are choosing to stay single, what are the possible economic impacts of all of this?
What does that mean for the kinds of houses we build, the kinds of apartments we build, if there are more and more people living alone, to how will that affect taxes and how tax is collected if you live in a country where, there's different tax regimes for married people or families. And then that will have consequences for generations, because what happens when this generation single ages and will need.
It is funny how we don't always realize how intertwined things are, and then they turn out to be very much intertwined. Like you would think that people being single is just a matter of choice, but then you listen to these experts and how they sort of dissect the effects, the net effects of this, and then you're like, oh shit, it's likely to affect housing. Meaning, if more people are living alone, then you don't need family units anymore. Like, more and more people living alone, you'd rather probably build more condominiums that, like, or maybe a studio apartments, because one person doesn't need that much space if you're not going to have kids. And then all of a sudden, it goes to taxes.
The world of relationships is changing. But for Chloe Bow, this isn't a problem that needs a solution.
I guess I do have to ask this. Would you ever consider going into a relationship?
I feel like that question doesn't cross my mind anymore because I really just try to stay grounded in the present. I love my life. I wake up every day feeling at peace.
I won't be shocked to find that this lady has someone on the side, but I'm just claiming. Again, if you watched till the end, remember to subscribe, comment, and like, because you're helping me build this channel, and that's an awesome thing.